This house needs a little attention today. Of course, which day doesn't it? With 8 children and an indoor dog right now because we are in transition from living at our old homestead, building a house on our new farm, and living in this house in town and having a farm dog with us means there's tons of dog hair, there's mud, kids are in and out of the house. Our build site is a muddy mess, as most build sites are, especially this time of year when we've been getting a lot of rain. So, needless to say, this house is never super clean, but I do try to maintain some sense of order, some sense of cleanliness in our home, even despite all of those variables. One thing I've gotten better about over the years is not expecting perfection from my home. So, here in the kitchen, we have lots of beadboard. If any of you have beadboard, you love it or you hate it. I personally think it's beautiful, and we are going to be putting beadboard in our new kitchen as well. But you just have to have the expectation that you're not going to have a shiny, pristine home when you have something like beadboard, which is a country look. So I think a country look does lend itself very nicely to being a little rough around the edges. I also do cook from scratch in this home 3 times a day. Well, either I do or one of the kids does or my husband. So much food is made in this home. And so if I had to summarize my summer cleaning routine, which I'm going to go more in depth on tips and what I actually do to maintain a decently, and we're putting that into perspective, clean home, it would just be to stay on top of it, to clean a little bit each day, to clean after each meal. I'm not doing the once a week clean. Something I could do when I had fewer children, when this place was used less than it is now. We're kind of past that whole point. Back when I first got married, had my own house to maintain, I definitely had the weekly clean idea that we have culturally, or at least that I thought was what you were supposed to do. Your house was supposed to be fully clean from top to bottom once per week, and that really stressed me out. I tried to figure out how I could stay on top of that hamster wheel, and I made little schedules for myself where on Monday I would do these things, Tuesday I would do these things, Wednesday I would do these things, and that kind of worked in that season of life because it was a predictable season of life. There was less going on than there is right now with so many children, with a house build. There's just, even without a house build, there's just so much going on, and those parameters no longer work for us. Another thing that I've let go over the years is allowing a certain area of my home to be stressful when I see it, as opposed to just carrying around a little tea towel or a microfiber cloth and grabbing that quick mess. I would see a spot on some trim in a hard to reach place and see that there was a layer of dirt or grime on it, and then let those thoughts accumulate throughout the house and think, oh my, I need to spend 12 hours cleaning this house, as opposed to just kind of grabbing things as I see them and letting certain things go. So we live in a house right now with tons of painted woodwork, deep windowsills, deep doorways, and there is just no way to keep those to a level of cleanliness that you might expect if you live in a brand new house. Everything's freshly painted, there's less woodwork. I think it's important for all of us to just work within what we have and not get too worked up if things aren't perfect. Our first house was an old house, and the nooks and the crannies and the lack of perfection actually did bother me for a while because it never had that freshly cleaned look. When I was first married, I took on a few side jobs cleaning houses. And I remember the newer houses, or the houses where people left for work or didn't have any children and didn't really use it. They were so shiny after I finished. I came through, everything was perfect, and I stepped back and thought, this house is clean. Certain types of houses don't have that same effect. You can tidy them, you can keep them decluttered. As someone who lives in the house, you know what clean looks like for you, but it isn't necessarily going to be that bright, shiny clean, and that is totally okay. When I I think about the cleaning products I'm using around my kids and in my house, I know that they are going to be used on dishes, surfaces, my kids' clothes, and ultimately either ending up in my kids' mouths or on their skin. That's why I'm excited to tell you about today's video sponsor, Blueland. Blueland's products are made to meet the highest parental and environmental standards. Their products are not just clean, they are mom clean. They are 100% plastic free and made with certified clean ingredients that are safe to use around everyone in the family. And honestly, I love not having to choose between the certified clean ingredients option and the ones that actually work to get the job done around our home. Blueland's dishwasher, toilet bowl, and laundry detergent tablets are 100% plastic free, concentrated, pre-dosed tablets that come in compostable packaging. So no plastic anywhere. They're free from parabens, phosphates, ammonia, VOCs, chlorine bleach, and phthalates, made with certified clean ingredients, safer for you, your family, your pets, and the environment. Toilet bowl tablets are septic safe and 100% bio-based. I love that they power away a range of tough stains, including rust, mineral deposits, and hard water. Blueland is sharing a special offer just for my audience. All you have to do is click the link in the description box below to get 15% off. I no longer have the time or the mental space to worry about a looming task of cleaning the entire house. Oh my goodness, my house is so dirty and so out of control. My house is not perfectly clean, but the kitchen and tables and the things we need daily are. There's order in the laundry room and the kids' rooms, and most of all, it's decluttered. If I had to share my biggest tip for maintaining a clean home if you are majorly struggling, is to reduce the inventory. Can't emphasize it enough, but it could just be that you have too much to take care of in the season of life that you're currently in. So as far as my actual summer cleaning routine, again, a dirtier time of year, kids in and out of the house. Kids need baths every single night because they get so dirty, whereas in the winter, we don't need to bathe nearly that often. Each day consists of cleaning up the kitchen every single time it's used, wiping down the stovetop, removing the grates if necessary. I would say I do that on average once a day, either hand washing, drying and putting away the dishes, or running a load. We are using the dishwasher here in this house more often. I find that if I run it very quickly and don't have to pre-rinse and use the heated dry, that it does save some steps because it gets a lot of the dishes just out of the rotation. And since it's small, we usually have a few that we need to hand wash as well that we dry and put away. So no dishes sitting in the sink, no dishes sitting throughout the house. That's another thing I try to do multiple times a day, is gather up any forks, glasses. There's just stray dishes that happen around a house with a lot of people. And of course, this is also a great task for kids. You can ask even younger ones, hey, why don't you go around the house, see if you can find any cups, any random forks, and then you can send them out to do some trash. There's a lot of that little collecting type of stuff that I think is a great job for children. Another daily habit as part of my cleaning routine is addressing the floors. Certain floors in our house receive so much traffic, so many crumbs and dog hair. And then there are certain areas that are virtually untouched that really don't need attention, even on a weekly basis. They don't necessarily need to be vacuumed. So the areas of high priority are the kitchen, the main bathroom on the first level. It gets dirty every single day. The dining room after meal times, and then our school room, just because it's the room in the entryway of the house. So food goes through there, boots go through there. It's a high traffic area. Since I use the robot vacuum, most of the floors work is prepping for it. So sweeping things off of raised surfaces, steps, windowsills, trim, and then trapping it in very dirty spaces. These robot vacuums, I used to not find them very helpful at all. But if I trap them in to a very dirty room that I first prepped, it works great. So in our kitchen, I'll remove the rug, I'll remove the dog to the backyard, and then I'll use our trash can to block the entry into the kitchen, and then the vacuum can then take care of the entire kitchen floor from there. In the schoolroom, I have one door that'll close and then two entrances that I have to block with chairs or something else, and that works great. Again, it doesn't do great when I just let it loose throughout the whole house. I find that containment really works. So that's some of the prep work. I also do this in the bathrooms and the kids' rooms. Sometimes I also trap it in the couch area. That's a well-used area. So I'll run my arm under all the couch legs and grab any stray socks, blocks, trash, things that I commonly find under there, and then trap it in that area to let it really clean the rest. Some more prep work that I do for the vacuum is tidy and declutter floors, remove large things that will jam it up, things like socks and Nerf darts, small rugs. I sweep stuff out of the rug edges because it can't really get underneath rugs. And then midway through the day, I turn it over and make sure nothing is stuck in the brush rollers and empty it thoroughly. With that prep work and then just putting it in places throughout the day, I can maintain fairly clean floors. Again, not going for perfection, not mopping everything, but just keeping them debris free and decluttered and crumb free. As far as mopping floors, I use the steam mop on bathrooms, but just spot clean when I see something else on the wood floors. It's rare that I actually mop the whole house. I've gone years without ever doing that. We also have a lot of rugs, and the only room that gets very dirty is the kitchen. So I'll occasionally just get on my hands and knees and wipe it up. The robot vacuum also mops, but it doesn't do a great job in my opinion. I'm mostly just using that for keeping everything vacuumed up. We also do have a cordless vacuum. That gets used on occasion. I'd use the robot more than anything else, but Luke prefers the cordless vacuum. He doesn't really love using the robot vacuum at all. I also give it to the kids after we eat so they can pull out each chair, vacuum the rug that is under our table because it's hard to move all of the chairs just to prep for vacuuming. I have one son who does that. The younger boys will bring dishes and everything from the dining room to the kitchen, and then one of my daughters and I will usually do dishes while another daughter will keep an eye on the youngest kids. Sometimes if we start dinner very late, which is happening more and more during this time of year, I will take the younger kids, get them into the bath, and then my two daughters and Luke will do the dishes. So it kind of just depends, but that's typically how we run the after dinner crew. I average, I would say, now I don't have a specific day, once a week on using the steam mop in the bathroom, and that works great for us. But I do trap the robot vacuum in there on the daily. Having tile in the bathroom, and we've had that in all three houses that we've lived in since we've been married, is something I'm reconsidering for our new house. Now that is what we were planning to do. I see some beautiful tile patterns, especially historic looking tile patterns that I love. I love the look of them. But every time I've lived with tile in a bathroom, especially white tile with a light colored grout, I get frustrated because no matter how often I clean it, it still looks dirty, and you just almost have to be okay with that, which I talked about how I am learning definitely to be okay with the house not looking pristine. I truly am. But the bathroom floor, especially one that gets used so often, because when you live in a two-story house, even if you have bathrooms upstairs, the bathroom that is on the main floor is the one that everybody uses 90% of the time. It sees so much traffic, and I'm considering doing something that just won't always look dirty, possibly some painted wood floors, which I know those could chip, but still I have in my head maybe it just wouldn't look as dirty as tile. And so that's a factor to consider. Another daily habit that I have is to wipe the bathrooms when I'm taking the little kids to the bathroom or giving them baths. I'll just do a quick wipe with toilet paper around the toilet area. And a lot of times I carry around a microfiber cloth with me, and I'll give the bathtub just a quick wipe down and the sink a quick wipe down, or I will use the sprayer in the bathtub to quickly spray it out, keeping these daily habits so things just don't get out of control. No, I'm not doing a weekly cleaning day, but I'm just, when I see things, trying to stay on top of them and not letting perfection stress me out. The way I clean the house and the way we use the house really does change in the summer. I find that on these warmer days, especially once pools start to open, there's more activities that you can do during the day, more things to go to. It's more just a how can I get out of here? How can I spend less time in the kitchen, less time in the house, and get out with the kids? And my summer cleaning routine, summer food, all reflect that mission. What does your summer cleaning routine look like? Are you on a homestead? If you are, I know that each and every day you're spending very little time in the house so you can get outside and harvest vegetables coming soon here from the garden. You probably spent all spring putting things in. That means you just have very little time to tend to your house, and you have to let perfection go even more, which is totally okay. Don't forget, it will be cold again. If you live in a four seasons climate, you'll have plenty of time to spend in your home, wiping all the things with less dirty kids from the outside, and you'll just wish it was summer again, or at least that's how I am.